Why, hello. Just thought I'd fire up ETS, give it a quick run. I was already, rather, midway through a journey. I'll show you that when I press the right button in a second here. It's taking an excavator from Glasgow over the ferry there. Hello, there seems to be an issue with the map. There we go, it's rectified. Taking an excavator from Glasgow over to Aalborg. Apologies if I've mispronounced that, which is quite likely, in the Netherlands. Short journey. It'd be interesting to see if that works because it's disjointed there, as I explained I think in the previous video. I'm running TSM map, which you can see a bit of there, Spain and Italy and stuff, and also Rust map, which you can see a bit of vanishing over to the right there, which works fine. I've also got the DLC going east installed as well. Installed Tricky Maps version 2, which seems to have slightly broken. It looks like just TSM, I think it is. Just broken TSM there. I've not attempted to fix it, so it's probably easy to fix. We shall. I'll try and have a look at that before the next video. No promises though. It should also be noted that the reason I can't actually see all of Rust map and TSM is, I think, due to realistic lighting modification, which I have running in tandem with true AI lights. The two are not necessarily big fans of each other. But I quite like them both, so it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, at least on a temporary basis. You can still drive into the places you can't see on the map. You just literally can't see them on the map. You can see them on the little GPS console down on the right there. So you're not totally in the dark. Anyway, I'm just randomly parked here because this is. I'm just taking a screenshot of the wagon there, which, as you can see, is a Scania T. The orange light bar on the top looks a teeny little bit out of place. Not too bad, and I do like lights. They kind of help you see where you're going. So I've got quite a few lights on there. I've refrained from the giant bull bar on the front because I quite like the look of the front of the Scania T. And I find the bull bars kind of hide the front of the wagon a bit. As you can see, my trailer's over there to the right. So I'm going to go and pick up the trailer and start this puppy up. Jump back in the cab. Switch the hazard lights on. Been fiddling around with the graphics settings since the last video. Still running on only 300% scaling, which I would like 400%, but I do tend to get quite a big frame rate drop. We'll need the tag axle down for this. So the trailer, there's all the lights work. Excuse me. Super duper. Made some lighting modifications on the, mainly on the rear of the truck. May have gone slightly overboard with the indicators. We've got slightly less brake lights now. Yeah, it's nice enough. Mainly because I think I'm not sure which one of the lights, but at least one of the lights, if not all of them, have flares, and because I've run with all the graphics settings quite high, I tend to get a bit of a frame loss of frame rate whenever I'm indicating or braking, and I think that was I like to think that was the reason. I was such an appalling driver in the last video. It was because of that frame rate change, as I previously explained, that has the effect of slowing down the game temporarily and intermittently, of course, which makes it very hard to judge speed and loss of speed when braking. So I've drastically reduced the amount of lights. So there's far too many lights, certainly on the rear of the truck anyway. It's like Blackpool illuminations every time you were braking or indicating. So hopefully I've got somewhere near a happy medium at the moment. Nice weather today, lovely blue sky. It's not a clear blue sky, but not far off. I shall try and take it a little easier on the speed front as well. Incidentally, here in the UK, just become aware of a real life speed limit change. Currently in the UK, heavy goods vehicles, anything over about 7.5 tons. Oh my word, that's interesting driving. I'm pretty confident it was my right of way there. I suppose that's what happens when you talk and drive, perhaps. That is a perfect example of driving in the UK. Maybe being a little harsh there, but I think it is. I don't know how badly that's damaged the truck or the trailer. The truck's repairable. It will cost me 16% there on the truck, 3% on the trailer. I'll stand the 3% damage. Hopefully I don't accrue any more damage. Obviously that 16% is probably going to affect the running of the truck. Keep an eye out for any garages along the way, service centres, that I can get the wagon repaired. That will impede its performance somewhat, and change the handling as well. Anyway, as I was saying, in the UK, trucks are on single carriageway roads. You've just got one direction of traffic, or 2 lanes of traffic rather, one in each direction. Heavy good vehicles are currently limited to only travelling at 40 miles an hour. Apologies if you work in kilometres an hour, I have no idea. That's probably something like no idea, I wouldn't like to guess, maybe 60, 65, 70 kilometres an hour. But yeah, they're limited to 40 miles an hour. That's the speed limit for the trucks, irrespective of the any greater speed limits for cars and stuff. And on dual carriageway roads, they are limited to 50 miles an hour. I've just realised that I'm not actually on a dual carriageway road, so yeah, nearly accrued a bit more damage there, so that was quite lucky. Overtaking on solid white lines as well, so yeah, pretty stupid manoeuvre there, but there we go. We lived. Don't try this at home, kids. But yeah, from April the 1st, hopefully it's not a joke, this speed limit will be increasing, so heavy goods vehicles will be able to do 50 miles an hour on single carriageway roads, and I believe 60 miles an hour on dual carriageway roads, which pulls it into line with the motorways, where you've got more than 2 lanes of traffic. So doesn't sound like a massive increase, 25% at most, but I think that'll have a big impact on certainly cars. If you're stuck behind trucks here in the UK, it can be quite frustrating. There's quite a lot of single carriageway roads that are used as highly trafficked routes for heavy goods vehicles, main arteries and such, and it's not always possible to overtake. That doesn't stop a lot of people. People always seem to need to get to where they're going instantly, and have very low threshold for patience. So I've seen countless times where people have basically risked their life and others to overtake a truck going 40 miles an hour just so they can speed up to do 50. So hopefully that'll alleviate that problem and make the roads a slightly safer place. And of course I think those speed limits have been enforced for many years for the heavy good vehicles. And of course technology's come on, and braking systems have improved. For example, a move from drum-based brakes to disc brakes, which are, I think, a lot more efficient in terms of their braking power. And of course the computerized systems on the truck to monitor those braking systems, they've improved. So I think trucks are a lot more capable now, a lot safer than they used to be, even just 20 years ago. This is a perfect example of it. Well, I know I am a truck, but not driving a truck, but a perfect example of a 40 mile an hour on a single carriageway road. It's quite a fuel efficient speed. It is in my car anyway. But if the speed limit's 60 miles an hour, and it's like this is a fairly long road and quite a few straight sections, but yeah, you're kind of pushing it if you're overtaking. Yeah, that extra 10 miles an hour kind of makes it whiz by a little faster. Well, I've viewed my first video, admittedly not all of it in one go. It was phenomenally long. I think that's far too long. Hour and I think 18 minutes. And visually it seems to be acceptable, and the audio seems to be okay. I did consider splitting it up into multiple videos, but laziness took hold of me, and I thought that basically I'd need to overdub some little bits in between rather than just hack the video into lots of little pieces. So rather than actually put much effort in, I just left it as one video. But like I say, it was just a test. As probably said, I do live in the UK. Difficult to see out there with the signposts, and so consequently drive on the left as I am now, although admittedly my car is right-hand drive. But in Euro Truck, being the name explains most of it, a lot of it's in Europe, most of the roads are certainly in Europe, and drive on the right-hand side. So I, by default, if you like, I opt for a left-hand drive truck, and I must admit I kind of quite enjoy driving left-hand trucks, left-hand drive trucks, even on UK roads. And I've tried right-hand drive trucks, but I just they don't feel right because I'm so used to left-hand drive trucks, and it's quite handy separating it from real life. I mean, I know that this is not a perfect pick a gear, any gear, perfect simulator, although yeah, people pulling out in front of you, it's a pretty accurate representation of real life. But it's quite nice, especially now I've got the force feedback. Yeah, that seems legit, and the same speed as everybody else. You know, I'll get a speeding ticket. Yeah, I really need to have a word with my right foot because it seems to be far too heavy. Whoa, this is gonna be one of those mad days. I don't know about you, but I didn't spot a garage on the mini-map. Admittedly, I completely forgot to look, but the truck seems to be functioning okay with 16% damage. And yes, I'm fully aware that if I slowed down, I probably wouldn't crash as much. But I'm kind of hoping to complete this video, or this journey, in one video. Engine malfunction, it's good news that. I think I spoke too soon on the functioning of the truck. Excuse me, I was over-braking there. Now I don't know, I've watched a few videos of Euro Truck Simulator and nobody ever really talks about the trailer brake. Sort this out. We're going over this, I think we're going to there. Embark. Yes, the trailer brake. It is an option in the, I think it's in the game play menu within Euro Truck Simulator, and I've patched it to one of the buttons on the steering wheel. Now I'm not entirely sure what it's meant to simulate. Low air pressure, that's wonderful. But so I don't know whether it's meant to be a parking brake or anything. It toggles, like rather it doesn't toggles, it's pushed to operate, as it were. And it's a godsend. I know I crashed. The amount of jackknifing that took place when I was first playing the game was phenomenal, especially with the heavier trailers. I find when you use the truck brakes, i.e. the foot pedals. There we go, got some air. it does exactly what it says on the tin. It just operates the brakes of the truck, and it doesn't seem to control the brakes on the trailer, whereas fairly obviously the trailer brake button does. That's exactly what I want. Just as I'm pulling out. Oh, we're driving on the left. No, we're on the right. I spy with my little eye a garage. I think we'll go and get this baby repaired. So yeah, the trailer brake operates the trailer brakes, and that's a wonderful tool, especially if you don't want harsh braking or immediate braking. It takes a while to I imagine it possibly dumps the air pressure maybe in the trailer, but it takes a while to get up to full braking force on the trailer. As in a few seconds or so for it to have much of an impact, but when it does, it provides enough force. I shall attempt to demonstrate it by deploying the trailer brake now. Admittedly, I had a bit of foot brake at the end there because I realised I was going to completely overshoot the junction, but it's you could, with a bit of forward planning, use the trailer brake purely for braking. Brake. That was just with the trailer brake, so it's quite effective, especially on hills. It almost completely alleviates any jackknifing issues. £23,000 worth of damage. That's shocking. Although I can afford it. Incidentally, I think I'm running a stock game in terms of finances. On some of my other profiles, I have about 5 profiles in total. On some of my other profiles that I use for testing various bits and bobs. I have got a little script that gives quite a large amount of XP per delivery, and also increases the amount of money you get. Mainly the trailer parking bonus, which I think in the stock game it's relatively small. I can't remember whether you get cash for it or not actually, but that's just to sort of speed up growth of profile and help enable some of the locked trucks. I do have a mod that unlocks everything, all the trucks and accessories and such. Takes the unlock level down to 0, but it doesn't necessarily work on some of the modifications. So we've got the sort of unlock level hard modded, so it doesn't always work. So you do sometimes need that extra cash and that extra XP to boost the levels. I've changed the gearbox as well from the last video. Again, another modified gearbox. Can't for the life of me think who made the mod initially. It's a tiny little file. I suspect I need to be in the left-hand lane. Wait for it. No. Yeah, that's fine. I'd be much more obedient to speed limits if you had a license scenario, for example, where you got 3 points on your license for speeding, or a greater number of points if you go ridiculously fast, because that would have a lasting impact. But if you brake too late, you'd crash. there's no real lasting legacy with just getting a speeding fine. Obviously you've got less cash, but when you get to a certain point in the game and you you have a crew of drivers as well working for you, you've got steady income, and you can sort of just leisurely loll around in the game. You're not too pressured with cash. There's no real impact from the speeding. Anyway, as I was waffling on about the gearbox, I think it's called might be TT Speedmaster. I think it's the original mod, which gives you a 21 speed gearbox, and I think it's only got one reverse. Yeah, I think it's 21 forward gears and one reverse gear. And yeah, if you've got a powerful engine, you can get some insane speed. I think the fastest I've been with that gearbox and a very powerful engine is, I think I may have tickled 138, 140 odd miles an hour, which I think is in the 200 kilometers plus bracket. And yes, you need long straight roads. You need to pay attention, and you need both hands on the wheel. Yeah, things can go pear-shaped very, very quickly at those sort of speeds. On TSM map, it's quite useful when travelling around South Africa, because there's some phenomenally long, fairly straight sections of road, quite flat as well. Quite a smooth surface in a lot of places, so the speed's very helpful. I can't imagine what it would be like to traverse TSM map down in South Africa doing 40 or 50 or 60 miles an hour. It takes some time, and I think I'm probably a little bit too impatient for that. Especially out in the desert, it's not, how should we put it, feature rich. You get the odd sand dune. There's some nice places, don't get me wrong, but that's a beautiful sunset. Sunrise, sorry, I'm completely unaware of what time it was. Yeah, I've modified the gearbox to decrease the ratios, so it's less about speed and it's more about heavy haul. Still not got a handle on that braking. That's an interesting driving. What are you doing? Yeah, you're going to come round the roundabout now and pull it out. That's nice. So yeah, hence why I'm in 17th gear at 50 odd miles an hour. I'm pleased to see that I managed to get to this section of TSM map via the divide. I think catching the ferry here is the deal clincher there. At some point I shall have to attempt to drive one of the voids and see if see what happens. Kind of guess that the game will crash, but I suppose there's only one way to find out. I'm hoping I shall be able to uninstall tricky maps without any issue, although it does seem to have modified Europe somewhat. Are you coming? There we go. In your own time. Trailer brakes. Indicate. Maneuver. Yeah, it does seem to have modified Europe somewhat. I'm sure it's taken some cities out. Again, I'm not sure whether I've installed it in the right place in the map mods folder. So I shall have to have a play about with that, maybe back up the profile. I'm not lazy when installing modifications, and I very rarely back up the profile, but I recommend strongly that before you install any mods, make a backup of your profile. I don't think the profiles are that big in terms of size, so if you've got multiple profiles, probably good practice to back up the whole show as a matter of routine. But I got lazy, just started randomly installing things. Not doing too bad with the frame rate. It's a little sort of jittery at times. Currently 37, 38 frames per second as we pull away from the gas station area. It's improving steadily. It seems to be hovering around just under 40 frames per second. Which is more than playable. And I might have to sacrifice some settings. I'd like to get that scaling back up to 400%. Very much looking forward to American Truck Simulator. Still no news that I've seen on that, but the screenshots I've seen a little bit of gameplay. It certainly looks nice. Honestly, I'm normally a bit better with the brakes. I have a physics mod installed, which forwards, that's it, which has changed the those lights changing, yeah, can't see because of the sun. Amazingly changed the physics, who'd have thought it. Running around with main beams on, sorry chaps. Excuse me. And I think that changes the braking as well. Certainly changes the feeling of the road surface. It seems to be, I wouldn't like to comment on whether it's more lifelike or not, because never having driven a... Oh, Amber Gambler again. Red signal my backside. Probably going to be needing to be in that lane. So quite a frame rate drop, 25% there. Yeah, I would like to say it feels more lifelike. Probably does. It certainly feels nicer on bends and stuff. I think I had a physics mod installed before, which was quite nice, but it's quite sort of, I want to use the word fluffy, I don't know why. Combination of fluffy and bouncy. Turn in here. And this seems much more sensible. I like the amount of bounce in the cab, the reactions to the bumps, and the lean as well. And I think that was an improvement that SCS brought out in version 14, version 15, I think it might be 1.15. They brought out sort of camera movement in the cab. This is so far not that tricky, anything. No, this looks pretty stark. All that space and still shocking at parking. So where are we here? Any second now. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. So there we have it. It's not a digger as I thought. I was thinking of something completely different. It's a tanker of stuff. Blue flames? No. Oil and odd fuel. Yes, I'm absolutely rubbish at pronouncing these names. Almost acceptable parking. So there we have it. I must remember to actually drop the cargo off before saying goodbye. So here we go, for those that are interested in such a thing. ADR class 4. Sodium, there we go, sodium. The damage penalty there, it's not too bad as a percentage. I'll stand that, no problems at all. And also, for those that are interested, company manager. Driver manager. Quick rundown of the drivers there. They're all pretty highly. Oh, that's me. As you can see, I'm pretty experienced now. So every delivery, I tend to get quite a bit of cash. Oh, driven distance exactly 26,000 miles. Wonderful. But the drivers as well, they're quite experienced. I think on this profile I used to have a lot of drivers. By a lot of drivers, I mean a lot of drivers. I'm sure it was this profile where I had up to, I know it wasn't, this is my second main profile, I remember now. The first main profile had 120 odd drivers, none of which were that experienced, but on this profile, as you can see, I've got sort of started from scratch. And I thought I'd keep the number of drivers down. I thought I'd invest a lot of money in drivers early on so that they could get experience, sort of just chug away in the background. And I slogged it out with a few journeys to get some cash to buy some trucks for them, and also make the garages bigger. I think a lot of the garages are full-sized garages. Nope, I'm totally wrong there by the looks of it. Yeah, they're all small. I think I shall invest some excuse me. That probably explains why I've got so much cash, because largely, excuse the pun, all the garages are small. There's a couple of large ones in there. But I think what I'll do is I'll plough some of the cash back into the garages and enlarge them and make them large garages. So the large garage comes with its own fuel pump with cheaper fuel. So your daily cost on fuel, expenditure on fuel goes down. Of course, has a knock-on impact of having more money. I think there might be other advantages as well. I'm not sure about that. I don't know whether you get a decrease in maintenance costs, or what impact on the what other impacts there are on the overheads, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's not that easy to figure that one out. But anyway, that's enough waffle from me. See you soon. Bye.